YouTube? What it do is way out here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a strategy that changed everything for me. Okay, so I've been trading for a little over a year now. I am not a guru. You know, you suck. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just showing you guys what works for me. You know, there's a million people out here to show you a million different damn strategies, and you can do whatever the hell you want to do. If you want to go do another strategy, do it. If you want to listen to my stupid strategy, you can do it too. It's honestly pretty stupid and it works. That's just kind of why I like doing it, and it just, I feel like, you know, compiling it with confluence in the Lord. Obviously, I'm a big, you know, God guy. You know, I pray before every single trade I take. I feel like this strategy has just helped me tremendously, you know, and I genuinely hope it helps you out. You know, I don't advise you to listen to me because I'm an idiot. You know, I'm not a guru or anything, but this is what works for me. This is what changed the game for me as far as trading goes. I feel like I lost so many times. I blew so many damn accounts trying to follow all these different strategies out here, you know, from support, resistance, you name it, man. Go follow this, go follow that, go do this, go do that. It confuses you, man. When you hear all these different strategies all over the place, it confused me after a lot of time, you know, just following all these different things. Like, you know, and all of them do matter. Right, and at the end of the day, like what I like about my strategy though is it doesn't matter to the extent you're gonna need it like you're gonna need every single aspect of every single strategy, if that makes sense. What you're gonna be learning is simple. It's stupid and simple, okay? We're gonna go over this. You're gonna see how like, serious this is. It's very easy. So number one, what we're gonna do, okay, I trade 2 time frames. I trade the 15-minute orb, or 15-minute candle, and then I trade with the 5-minute candle. Okay, so if you guys don't know what candles is, I do have a video coming up next week. I'm on vacation right now, so I don't have time to make one, but I figure I'd make another one about this. I feel like this is gonna help a lot of people, you know, and especially when you don't listen, you shouldn't be listening to me anyway, but if you wanna be an idiot and use fake money, then by all means, right, you're gonna make some fake money using this strategy, right? So what I do is, this is the app or site app, whatever, called NinjaTrader. Okay, so this is what I like to use. I absolutely love NinjaTrader. I love My Funded Futures, which is a prop firm you can use. You know, if you want to, you know, invest $50, or I think they charge $77. Top step is $50, and the activation fees, all that stuff. You know, if you're just getting into this and don't want to use your real money, other than, you know, a couple $100 when you're first learning, you know, depending on how many accounts you blow. Which was me, it was a lot for me, especially like I said before I found this. So My Funded Futures, NinjaTrader, amazing platforms. I love using them, okay? So what we're gonna do is, as you guys can see right here, we have different time intervals, okay? So we have 1, 5, 15, 30, 1 hour a day, etc. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back. Number one, we are on the 20th, August 20th of 2025. So number one, we're gonna go back to the first piece right here that I want you to look at every single day you open up your, you know, your account. Okay, so number one, we're gonna go to the daily, okay? So what this means, let's go back to the 20th and make sure we're actually on the 20th. Oh geez, I'm way, how the hell did that just happen? All right, so we're gonna go back to the daily on the 20th here. If we can find a daily on the 20th, right here. All right, so this is the daily on the 20th. What you're going to be looking at, okay? Number one, as you guys can see, 1 day is each candle here. So when you see the day, it means 1 day. So this is the 22nd, 21st, 20th, 19th, 18th, 17th, etc. Okay, so that's easy as it is, right? So we're gonna look at the daily. As we can see, we've been in a complete downtrend. Okay, so these are things you have to look at. What was the previous day, right? So like for me, this is gonna be the easiest way to say it, is that if you're seeing it's a red, you shouldn't be taking bullish candles, you know what I mean? You shouldn't be. It does happen sometimes, and that's what I'm saying. You're not a guru, I'm not a guru. We cannot really figure out what's going on, as you guys can see right here, right? This was a complete bearish candle, bullish, news, instantly up, right? And this was down, up. You know, it doesn't really mean much, but it's just something I look at as a reference point as to what I think could potentially be happening, right? So we're gonna look at the daily, and we're gonna see that it's bullish on the 20th, sorry, bearish, and then 19th is bearish. Bearish is down, bullish is up. Easy as hell, right? And then what I do is I like to go on the custom time right here, and I like to type in 240 minutes, which is 4 hours. We like to look at the 4-hour time frame, okay? So on the 20th, which is right here, we see, let's see, we're gonna go back to the, about right here, okay? So around this point, 6 a.m. This is what we're looking at, complete bearish. That's what we saw coming in. So, okay, so at the end of the day, what am I thinking in this time frame right here? If we're, you know, we're gonna be going bearish, most likely, right? So if you're seeing everything be bearish, you really shouldn't be looking for bullish trades. In my opinion, it's gonna be moving. It's the NASDAQ, that's another thing. I do trade the NASDAQ, that's primarily what I trade. It's gonna move volatile, it's gonna move quick, you know, and there's gonna be moves where we're gonna go hauling up and we're gonna move hauling down. You know, we're just looking for the overall trend of where we think it potentially could be going, okay? So we know we're gonna be looking for most likely a bearish trend, okay? I do not trade the first 15 to 30 minutes. I don't. You know, within the 30, yes, typically. Could be a little bit after 30, just depends on the day, okay? So we are gonna go to August 20th, which is, where the heck is August 20th? Damn. All right. It is right here, okay? So as you guys can see, I changed from the 4 hour to the 15 minute. And we're looking at the 9:30 start. So we wake up, I wake up at 6 a.m., go to the gym, pray, do my prayers, and I pray to God about my day. I always do. That's how I start my day. You know, at the end of the day, I get on here about 9:15, 9:20, kind of check out those things I just talked about. Doesn't take very long. So we look at this candle right here. We see the higher high and a lower low. So that's what we're setting, right? So what you're gonna wait for is from 9:30 to 9:45. You can watch whatever you want. I just always keep it in the 15-minute time frame within that period. I don't really look at anything other than where it's going. It doesn't really matter. Again, we're not trading in that time frame anyway. You can if you want. Again, it's just a dumb strategy. You don't have to do it. So on number one, 15 minute. Okay, so we wait about 9:45 a.m. We wait for this candle to close. Okay, so you want to see a closure, which means the closure is saying, okay, this closed, now this one's starting. That's pretty much what it means. So we're waiting for the lower low and the higher high. As you guys can see, this is the lower low, right? So that's the lowest point it's been, and the highest point it's been, which is up here, right here. Okay, so once we see this closure, the 15 minute, what we do is we switch over to the 5 minute, okay? Now we're gonna, that friggin' app's gonna put us sideways here, Jason Crow. All right, there we go. And as you guys can see, what happened? Okay, so what we're waiting for is we wait for a closure. Again, a 5 minute closure, not a 15, 5 minute closure above either this high point or below this low point. And as you guys can see, you know, this day was kind of, you know, sketchy because sometimes we can see it completely come down here and close underneath this lower low right here, right? It closed. And then sometimes it will haul back upwards, right? But, you know, we always have to check that second candle, which I'm going to be getting to in a minute here, okay? And so I'm going to kind of keep this as simple as I possibly can. So you wait for your closure, and then you know directly, pretty much, you know, other than, again, the market's going to do what it wants to do, okay? You're not a guru. You're not going to make everything work exactly how you want it to. We see a closure, meaning we're going to be moving downwards for majority of the day. For the rest of the time frame, I'm going to be in the market, that is, right? So I'm only trading from 9:30 to 11 max. I don't trade after 11. I don't like to. It's not my thing. Again, like, unless I see something perfect, I'm not doing that. I like getting in and getting out. So we see a closure, and if I remember right, you'd have to go back and watch the video, but I remember I did take this trade. I started exactly where I entered. I have videos on this channel. You guys can go back and watch what I did. I show you guys my losses and my wins. I won today. I won that day because it was pretty easy and pretty simple. So we saw, obviously, it was bearish, and this second candle is where everything is going to matter. Okay, this is where your strategy is this strategy works for me the best, right? So what I do is I wait for the closure, and then I wait for that second candle to tell me what's going to continue to happen, okay? And I'm not saying it's not going to stomp you out, because it's going to stomp you out sometimes, and that's part of the process, that's part of the game. It's part of the game we play. It's normally where you just have to cut your ties and move on for the day, or, you know, if you want to go in for, let's just say it come hauling up and you were in for a put right here, you didn't wait for the second candle, you could technically go in for a buy if you wanted to, but again, you might get stopped out when it comes directly back down. That's the thing you don't know. So I like just to hold my trade and let it play out. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We just move on with the day. Okay, so number one, we would have entered right here. Okay, we saw extremely volatile down, and we saw that it was continuing down by the point it's down here. Right, so even if you had waited, you would enter down here, you would have made some serious change, you know, if you had waited for a put, if you went in for a put, which is saying it's going down the market, right? I trade with one contract. You can trade with as many as you want. I highly recommend starting with one when you're just starting, you know, and like putting your stop loss between, you know, it just depends on preference, you know, 500 to 1,000. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I did mine at first. You know, typically 1,000 now, you know, and if I see it's going up and not doing what I want it to do, I'll stop it early, you know, and that's where this close button comes in. You know, you just, if you know dang well, this is not doing exactly what I wanted to do, don't lose all your damn money in the process. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I like that. I have one account where I let things run. pretty much, and then one where I just kind of like take profits while I can. I've already told you guys that in other videos, but this works consistently. If you guys go back and watch my other video, right, my other videos where I showed the strategy is consistently working. That's the best part about it, right? So let's just see on the 19th as to what happened on the 19th, okay? So we are going to look at the high, which is in right here, I assume, because I'm not going to put the 15. You obviously go to your 15 minute. This is a 5 minute, and then obviously the low of that. And I'll show you just to spark your interest here. Okay, so we're going to go to the 19th, and this is the 15 minute candle, lower low, higher high. Okay, so what do? We're going to test yourself, right? What are we going to do from here? We're going to go to the 5 minute. We're going to go to the 5 minute, all right? And we're on the 19th, just so you remember it. I remember because I'm a dummy. All right, so we're on the 19th. Okay, so we have that higher high, and we have that lower low. What happens? This is what I want you guys to understand, right? It's not always going to work out the way you want it to. Remember, and that's why the second candle is so important. Okay, because you can just, if I remember right, this might have been one of the days where I didn't listen to my strategy. I don't remember, okay? Every day is a freaking day to me. I don't freaking know. You have to go back and watch it. The 19th. As you guys can see, if you had waited, right, you waited for that second candle like Al told you to at 9:50, right? Sometimes it doesn't even close until 9:55. Sometimes it doesn't close on this right here until 10. Sometimes it can be up here. It just depends on the day, if we're bullish or bearish. But if you had waited, right, you saw it comes up to this fair value gap. I remember if it was I think it might have been like a 1 minute fair value gap. It comes back up, right? So if people had jumped in for, let's just say, a put right here, you might have been stomped out depending on where your stop loss was. You know what I mean? If you didn't wait. If you saw the closure and you just said, F it out, I'm pulling in. You could have been in and you would have made some serious money if you had a stop loss that was all the way up here, sure. But if you didn't, you would have been stomped out. But if you had held, I mean, as you guys can see, this strategy works every damn time. So what I like to do is I like to see if I see, for example, right here, right? If I see a bullish candle on that second candle, right? I like to see it come up and just see if there's any fair value gaps. And if it pushes up and it pushes past that fair value gap on a 5 minute candle, we see an engulfing candle, the same thing right here, right? The closure, the engulfing candle. If we see that above that fair value gap and it keeps pushing, it's most likely going to do a complete 360 and a reversal for the rest of the day. That's normally what I see. Again, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Nope, doesn't mean anything. It just means that, again, the strategy is working, and that's all we need to see. That's what I like about the strategy is it's so stupid that it's simple, right? So you either have it work or you don't. These are things you need to look at though, right? If it's coming back up and it's not doing what it's supposed to, right? So, okay, we saw the closure, it's going down for today, right? And we see, it's bullish, like you lied to me. Well, number one, I'm not a guru. Number two, you didn't listen to me. You know, I mean, we had the fair value gap right here, right? So we would have waited. Okay, well, maybe it's just coming up to the gap. Before we make a buy, before we make a put, let's just see overall if it comes back down and closes beneath this. So if you had seen right here, right, it's kind of head back down, you could have easily just went in for a put right there. Right at this point, if it goes to that lower low again, it's going to keep pushing. Majority of times. Again, I'm not a guru. Don't listen to me. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't listen to me. I'm stupid. Okay, but if you would have entered right here when you saw it was pushing past this lower low, dude, holy shit. You would have made some serious change if you would held all the way to the bottom. You would have hit your take profit easily and simply. And, especially if you hold your trades, you would have made 1,500, 2,000, whatever it is that you were trying to make. If you're trying to make it all in one blow, 3,000 for, a prop firm. There's obviously rules and set for most prop firms though. So like my fund and futures is like a 50% consistency rule. So you have to make no more than $1,500, if you want to get your account funded in that certain amount of time frame or whatever it is. So again, this is it, man. You can go back, you can backtest this, and I highly recommend. I made videos on what I wish I knew when I first started. Go back and watch those too. I'm just a simple dude. I'm just trying to show you guys what worked for me, what I learned from my trading. And what I'm continuing to learn as my journey progresses. It's going to be a long journey. It always is for all of us. And I still have so much more to learn. And again, the market is not our friend. We just have to do what the market's telling us to do. And once we see that closure down here, or if it was on, for example, if we see bullish and we see a bullish structure, like we saw, you're gonna be seeing a video from yesterday as far as the buy. I'm telling you, this when you go in for a buy, you just hold it and you see what happens. If it comes back, or again, if that second candle shows you bearish coming down into a fair value gap, we wait for that fair value gap to show us what's going to happen, right? So if we see it can come back up again and push past the higher high, what are we doing? We're going for a buy. So I hope this cleared some stuff up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, back test it, use a demo account. Don't use your real money. You know, there's no point, you know, especially until you're like fully learning, and you know, this shit takes months and years to learn. So just take your time, use demo account, be smart about it. I'm not selling you a course. You know, like all I ask from you is a like, subscribe, notification bell, so you see my videos. It helps me out, helps you out, and helps us grow together. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.